Now, this is a team battle you didn't expect me to have, I bet. It's Platinum Kennen, top lane Kennen. Which one? Not jungle Kennen. Just because I have a team battle of a champion doesn't mean I'm exactly jungling as I'm wishing to. And my runes and masteries are hybrid red, armor yellow, magic resistance blues, and I believe ability power quints flat. And my masteries are 21-9. So, Kennen. You know, I've always played with a bunch of Kennens, and I've always liked having a Kennen on my team because it's somebody else who can use crowd control, and especially AoE crowd control. And as far as why he's fallen out of grace, I would say it's probably because his crowd control tends to be unreliable right now in the whole, age of everybody having a goddamn blink and gap closer. It's like, oh, here comes Kennen, just flash out of the way. Flash out of the way, blink out of the way, and then re-engage, because he's kind of nothing without his ultimate, and his energy is not really that reliable in team fights. Anyways, not much is going to happen outside of from this level 1, this low-level gank, so I'm just going to rant about Kennen. Now, I have not actually played Kennen before up until a couple days ago, actually. I kept spamming custom games as him. I kept spamming custom games with him and was just wondering, how could I make this work? He seems like a champion that would suit me. I'm like, I can't believe I never played him. And I played him in a normal game, and it was so natural for me. I dominated that game. I carried the team. The rest of the team contributed definitely, but like the initiations I pulled off and the teleportations I did was just like really good, and that encouraged me to play Kennen more. And I've been looking for more top laners to play because everybody knows I kind of stick to like Karma, to Karma, to Teemo and Garen, and they're not exactly, always going to win their matchups or shit, and watching Karma a million times isn't exactly the most exciting thing ever, so I wanted to find somebody else, but I wanted to find someone else that had mixed utility and some damage, and it was probably AP, because it's also safe. Kennen is pretty much one of the safest laners, just kind of like, chuck your energy, pretty much resourceless Qs, and be safe and relatively tanky considering what the hell you are. Also, Doran's Blade allows you to harass the shit out of people and makes last hitting a bit easier, even though I did fail more than I should have in this game. Let's see, what other crap about Kennen that I like? Oh yeah, even if I get massively fucked up, I'll still be able to contribute somewhat with my crowd control. So, if I lose top lane, at least I'll have that as an assurance policy. To add to that, I could also build tanky. Zhonya's Ring, Rylai's Scepter, Abyssal Scepter, that kind of stuff, and still contribute. So, the versatility is there. I popped my ultimate immediately, because if you try to do any of that insect crap and knock me back, I would have been dead. It's just fuck it. I go home and then just teleport back in. But yet still nothing really happens. I kind of go full on douche mode here though and prevent Mundo from teleporting back. Not once actually, but twice. I would have kept doing it. I would have kept doing that if I didn't screw up the last part, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Kennen, I can't believe I've been missing out on him. In fact, he was actually the last champion I ever bought. Like every other champion, I unlocked them with IP and some with RP, like the bundle packet that was barely released with the game, and I eventually unlocked everything. But I kept just leaving Kennen locked. I kept buying runes, I kept buying other rune pages, but I never bothered to get Kennen until I finally had a bunch of IP left over. Also, that ultimate was unnecessary. A bunch of IP left over, and I said, you know what, fuck it, I'll get Kennen. I'll never really need him. And I might as well just trade him to other people if they ever wanted him. Because at the time where I purchased him, he was no longer, quote-unquote viable again. So up until that point, I finally have every champion. Like, new champion comes out, I obtain them. It doesn't take me long anyways. But yeah, holy fuck. I can't believe I've been missing out a lot on Kennen. I don't top lane a lot, but when I'm forced to, it would have been nice to know that a champion that fits a lot of what I like to do is there. And as you can see, it's like, the matchup is skewed towards my favor at least. I can't kill him without an ignite, but he can't do jack shit to me, and I can keep the lane pushed back. And if I need to be somewhere else, I can teleport. Like, bottom lane will soon see some action, and my teleport is up, so you'll see me, help out my teammates, at least, somewhat. Yeah, and I've seen plenty of Kennen players to the point where I can know what they're gonna do. To be honest, this is my second Kennen game, but the first Kennen game and all those little practice ones felt so right that like I could take everything else I learned about the other champions and make it work for him. Like it's kind of like an easy transition, so to speak. I know how to use crowd control. I know how to chain abilities properly in most cases. And when it comes to seeing initiations, I could see the opportunities rise. I'm like, shit, this is it. Let's do it. Here in this case, I didn't. I missed my Q, and it turned out to be a terrible, terrible thing. I couldn't burst him down. I got a little too overzealous. I thought his lack of items compared to mine would have meant he was going to die, but I should have remembered that Zanya's Hourglass is not exactly the most badass offensive item. Kha'Zix comes in, unfortunately, and we end up getting the kill. A Q of mine ends up picking it up, which I guess is fair since I do have damage. But either way, Kha'Zix comes in, we pick up Dr. Mundo on the tower, and this Zanya's Hourglass is improperly used. But whatever. We got the kills I intended, and all is good. One thing I still don't have entirely down is the full-on damage capabilities of Kennen. I just know his stuns and his harass and his douchebaggery, I guess. But his damage is still a little bit alien to me. Like in this case, I get a little overzealous. I go in with my little lightning ball thing, and I just get fucking dominated by Moon. I'm like, I regret that instantly. I'm like, holy crap, I should not have done that. But I had thought, it'd be a lot easier and a lot faster because I've just seen cannons roll around a little ball. But lesson learned, I will not do that again. And that's one of the things that people should do in order to learn champions quickly. Here, though, I engage on Mundo, but this time it's because I feel Castillo will be able to pick up the kill. I made one huge mistake there. I would have survived if I just kept going and dodged whatever Q he was going to toss my way instead of trying to go through the minions and hoping Castillo would kill him fast enough. So that was my mistake. But anyways, I was saying, what makes you become better at learning champions is simply being able to take every mistake you make and learn from it immediately. Don't, try to give a bullshit reasoning to it. It's like, oh, I would have succeeded with this. No, you probably wouldn't have. Just don't do shit like that again. You don't know any better. Don't force bad situations. So I learned not to do certain things Kennen because I don't have the damage. So I'll never repeat that again until I actually learn, how much damage I can deal. I won't force those situations once more. Anyways, as you can see, the enemy team actually has a lead. Right now, the Lee Sin DC, though we didn't really know, and we kind of killed him. And we killed Lucian, who was pretty much just recalling in a bad position. So 2 easy kills were picked up, and we're going to be able to push at this tower, though not exactly take it. Yeah, we're going to get this dragon for free. With that, it pretty much catches up to the enemy team, at least, but they still have the gold advantage. This game is actually a lot closer. I wasn't able to contribute much to the fights, except I guess 2 kill steals, and 2 kill steals, yeah, actually. I went down bottom, and I could have given them to anybody, so those kills really aren't, mine. There was only 2 kills that are actually mine, so I can say those. One picking up the kill at mid lane, and the other one picking up the kill on the Dr. Mundo. The Cassidy had the other kill, and I kind of just took it. But anyways, here's a big part. Like, Dr. Mundo's trying to cleave me just to, get me down. But just look at Lucian. Well, right now, look at Lucian. He has double buff. He's pushing in. He's trying to get all aggressive and everything. My team is split to one side. I'm on the other. Lucian is so close. Everybody can just jump on him. I go full on in. I use my ultimate, use my flash. I go in. I stun whoever I can, and then just start throwing shurikens at whatever. My job is done. Lucian died. That is exactly the most important thing that could happen. We killed their MVP, and the rest of them followed. And with that, we get ourselves an ace. Lee Sin is the last one to die, but yeah, there's the ace. And we're gonna get ourselves 2 towers from that as well. That Lucian's positioning was so bad. I don't even think you need to be experienced at initiation to know that you should have gone in on that. So, that was just dumb. And it lost, and it was a catastrophic loss. Now, with that, we are able to catch them off guard again. Keston picks off the Lucian, and with Rylai's and my stun incoming, this karma's not going anywhere. You can see I bought Zhonya's Hourglass and Rylai's, and it was because we don't have an actual front line or a tank, so I decided to go like a tankier build with utility on the side. So if I go in front line using my ultimate, I will at least slow everybody down, and along with stunning them, in order to give my team the advantage to get in a better position or protect themselves. So the build is working out tremendously well. And I fully intended to go that build from the get-go, which is why instead of, building Haunting Guys or Sorcerer's Boots early, I built that component item, for the Zhonya's Hourglass that gives you armor. Because I know I needed to build Zhonya's Hourglass immediately and then build myself a Rylai's Scepter. I'm building Abyssal Scepter next in order to give my Kassadin more power, because, he seems to be the powerhouse right now in the game alongside with me. I know Kha'Zix too, but he doesn't need any... I can't give him any power boost aside from stuns and slows. So, in every fight, I'll be the one in. I'll lower their magic resistance. I'll stun them and just annihilate them. That's my intentions. Zhonya's Hourglass will just make it easier to tower dive them if I so need it. So I was having a blast as Kennen. It was a pretty fun feeling. I'm like, it's that kind of feeling you don't have very often in the game if you're just running through the motions. So this was very fresh. Here goes, Lucian is very weak, everybody's pretty hurt, and they're kind of grouped up. So I go in with my ultimate, and unfortunately Lucian backs away. However, I stun Yasuo and Dr. Mundo, and they get low enough. I get killed, but Kha'Zix and Kassadin just pick off their backline like nothing. 3 deaths on their part. And we get ourselves a tower, we get ourselves an inhibitor, and then Dr. Mundo is going to get a little too close and going to get hooked. Well, he gets hooked right here. Gets hooked and then just pretty much blown the fuck up by everybody. And that leaves 4 of them dead. Karma also gets herself killed, and that's another ace, though Yasuo spawns right then and there. I'm respawning too, and I have a teleport, so as soon as Yasuo engages, I go right back into the fray. I go in, I use my Pikachu Thunderbolt thing, and I stun, well, I deal damage, then I stun Lucian, and the rest of them just fall. And with that, they're pretty much going to surrender. I do what it takes to just deal damage and slow Elise in, and Kha'Zix goes in and picks up the kill, getting us an ace again. Thresh unfortunately dies for taking the tower too long. But either way, that is a very good victory for us, and it felt like it was an even game up until we decided to make some very smart plays, and they decided to make some very stupid ones. So, this was incredibly fun. I had fun, and I hadn't had that feeling in quite a while. So hooray for Kennen, and for me finding a new champion to play in ranked and on stream.